You're with the hard facts from the CNN News 18 Federal Bank Prime Time Studio. Viewers, a few days ago, we had reported with a degree of surprise that the Khadim of the Ajmer Sharif Dargah, Gohar Chishti, had been miraculously let off by a court in Rajasthan in a hate speech case. In that case, viewers, you might remember, it was filed against him in 2022 along with some other individuals, where it was alleged that he and those individuals collectively chanted the baleful Sartan Se Juda slogans during a protest in 2022 against some comments made by former BJP national spokesperson Nupur Sharma. Viewers, the acquittal ignited debate and elicited surprise because on the face of it, the case against Chishti and 5 other co-accused looked like an open and shut one. Chishti, after all, was caught on camera, and you can see him there in the middle of your screens. That's when he was arrested, viewers. But in another video, he was caught on camera raising the hate-laced slogan. It all happened in broad daylight. There should have been zero ambiguity. But today, the hard facts have appeared after we accessed the copy of the court order. It turns out, viewers, that a string of unexplained lapses by Rajasthan police that aroused court suspicion, unquote, were committed during the probe in 2022. These lapses have been flagged by the judge as the reasons for the acquittal of the Khadim of the Ajmer Sharif Dargah, Gohar Chishti, the man on your screens. We will now go over the exact nature of the lapses. But first, here's a quick look back on the video evidence that got Chishti and 5 others into trouble. Let's play out that video. Viewers, cast your eyes back on that video. Even the lips, viewers, are syncing with the slogan. And as the Khadim repeats himself, as if on cue, those around him, some of them fellow accused, also chant the same slogan in unison. There can be no doubt, viewers. There can be no doubt. As I said, this was, for all practical purposes, an open and shut case. In fact, viewers, when the charges were brought against this person and when, of course, the media picked up this story, he decided to flee. He was caught weeks later, weeks after this particular protest rally in 2022 in Hyderabad. Viewers, today it turns out, and I am not saying this, the court is saying this, that the police, while investigating this matter, committed some extremely questionable lapses. For example, the police failed to explain why the complainant's report was submitted almost a week after the slogan hearing. This was not some closed secret, viewers. Police couldn't explain why the complainant's phone, for instance, why the complainant's phone containing the video recording was not collected as electronic evidence. I mean, this is the most basic thing anyone should do when investigating a case, especially one that had quickly turned controversial, viewers. The clip of the original 15-minute recording taken from the complainant's phone was then spliced by the police into several smaller bits of a minute long. Why, viewers, we don't know. Even the complainant doesn't know. critical CCTV footage submitted as evidence did not have the audio. Now, viewers, think about this. In a case that depends completely on the audio, on what was said, if you take the CCTV and you don't have audio on it and you submit it as evidence, what do you think you're going to have on your face, viewers? It's going to be egg. Even the court was bewildered. Procedure to collect electronic evidence undermined inexplicably. There are certain things you need to do. If you're taking electronic evidence from a particular individual or a group of individuals or an organization, you have to go out there and file an order. You have to go out there and go to court to get an order. Then present it to that particular individual, organization, or group of individuals before you extract something. That was not done. The investigating officer of the case failed to convince the court on the authenticity of the electronic evidence also. There were questions raised because apparently the police thought that it would be better to take a recording from the phone of the clip rather than viewers taking the phone itself. So the primary evidence literally was turned into a secondary evidence. Naturally, viewers, and then spliced, of course. Naturally, viewers, the court said that, look, this is not looking like authentic. The police failed to record the testimony of independent eyewitnesses. You can see that crowd in those pictures, viewers. There were hundreds of people there. They couldn't even find one to testify to this fact. Look at the number of people. It's not as if it was happening in some closed, as I said, underground bunker. So many lapses by the police should have naturally raised eyebrows. The judgment came out 2 days back. We raised this issue. Viewers, no other news channel is on this story. I don't know why. Had this slogan been raised by someone from another community, the majority community, wearing saffron robes, and that person had been let off after 3 or 4 years, and prima facie, the court concluded that it was because of certain missteps that were taken by the prosecution, all hell would have broken loose. No, viewers. Not one word. The case, after all, was a consequential one. Could it be that the police were influenced? Could it be that they were under political instructions? These questions are legitimate, and only the police can supply answers. But who is questioning the police? It's going to be left, of course, viewers, to CNN News 18 and the Hard Facts team. Many have said that the slogans incited murderous attacks on innocents who had spoken up in support of Nupur Sharma. Sadly, here we have a suspiciously botched investigation that seemingly has ended in giving a free run to Islamist hate mongers, calling for religiously ordained vigilantism. But none of those who speak up for secularism or constitutionalism are protesting. The probe was conducted under the Congress Gehlot government. Will the grand old party break its silence? If not, why? Will its allies break its silence? If not, why? Will the present state government under BJP call for a reinvestigation? And if not, then at least a departmental inquiry. It should do both, viewers, in my opinion. Let's open this up. Let's ask some basic pointed questions. And I want to first begin with an advocate, Ishkan Bhandari. We also have Prime Chaudhary. We also have Mr. Shahid Ali, Islamic scholar. And of course, Ratan Sharda, who's an RSS ideologue. Ishkan Bhandari, I'm sure you've read this order. You've gone over it specifically, page 70 onwards, where the court actually pronounces why it has come to this conclusion to acquit these individuals who, as clear as day, are chanting one of the vilest slogans that you could possibly chant in this country.
Rahul, it's not only a vilest slogan, I believe it's a terrorist slogan. Because when you organize a mob which chants Sar Tan Se Juda, and we have seen in the contemporaneous time period how people, Kanhaiya Lal Taylor in Rajasthan itself, how he was killed, how he was murdered, and how he was butchered for almost for no fault of his, just because he was supporting some viewpoints or because he had some viewpoints which were not liked by people who say Sar Tan Se Juda. So that had played out in Rajasthan, and then you have organized mobs chanting this. Now it is the duty of police to present evidence in the court, and these are very basic ways of presenting evidence, that electronic evidence has to be preserved, that the original phone or original device by which it was shot has to be preserved, has to become a case property, has to be given to court, that CDRs, if they are made, they have to follow prescribed procedure. I was reading at one page, the police officer says, I did it. At other page, he says, and in evidence, he says it was done by the police station computer by somebody else, it appears to be. So when your testimony is so lacking on the basic parameters, it raises the question, was it deliberate? Because even a first-year police investigator knows how to investigate these basic electronic evidences. In the new act, that is why some of these provisions have been strengthened. But even in the old act, 65B, a certificate how an evidence will be presented, is a law well settled by the Honorable Supreme Court. So when you deliberately do this, and why only this case, Rahul? Remember the case of Mr. Owaisi, where prima facie everybody can see what he is speaking on 15 minutes though, but in court the evidence is not sufficient. So why is this gap coming in the evidence? Is there are some things which have to be gone into. Let's talk about Rajasthan case. Was there political interference that police did not investigate? A case which is a high profile case because Kanhaiya Lal had already happened. Global eye is on you. You have the senior most police officers in such sensitive cases guiding investigation. How can such lacunas happen? How can CDRs not be complying with the Evidence Act? So it is not only a departmental inquiry. I believe you need to have an SIT on this and find out by both the senior officers, the investigating officer, as well as was there any political pressure, because today what has happened is a re-death, a re-threat to Indian citizens, that a mob can say Sar Tan Se Juda and can escape scot-free while there are other people on the ground who will carry out that action and do Sar Tan Se Juda. This is a terrorist chant, and we need to have justice if you do terrorist chants which lead to murders.
Well, Kamru Chaudhary, I remember when certain slogans were raised by a person called Yati Narsinghanand, terrible slogans, calling for genocide, etc. No place for those kind of slogans in a democracy, especially a secular democracy. Here you have individuals who are caught on camera. I mean, it boggles the mind that when their acquittal happens, these individuals, in what looks like a completely open and shut case, there is no outrage amongst the so-called secular liberal ecosystem. And I have to ask you, Kamru Chaudhary, number one, do you believe that this particular slogan that was chanted and is repeatedly chanted in different theatres across the country routinely should not be outlawed? Number two, does it have a place in a civilized democracy like ours, especially a secular one? And number three, why is there so much silence?
Yeah, Rahul, first and foremost, we must understand this context of this case at the first instance. The Sar Tan Se Juda slogan is, of course, a hate speech category slogan, and it should not be tolerated by any peace-loving or constitution-adhering citizen of India. There is no doubt about it. My first point is out here. Now, what did the Rajasthan police try to implicate Mr. Gohar Chisti in this case? That we must understand. They put in the section 115, 143, 149, 504, 506 under the IPC. They tried to link the murder of Kanhaiya Lal to Gohar Chisti, which they failed miserably to prove as a prosecution. It's the failure of the administration to link the murder.
It was a Congress administration. It was a Congress administration. And given the fact that the Congress, hang on. Given the fact that the Congress has given tickets to people who get up and say, boti kaat denge, Modi ki, and who have gone out on record to make vile hate speech And you know who I'm talking about? The one person who shared a platform with even Priyanka Gandhi Vadra and was taken into the party before the last assembly elections. Should I remind you, sir?
Can I complete
Could it
now?
be that, could it be, and I'm asking you this question, could it
But
be,
it
sir,
will be the government
that
of
the
BJP.
administration
Can I-
itself,
can I
excuse me,
complete?
sir, let me speak one by one, please. I cannot have, Mr. Shahid Ali, you sort of leaping in. I'll come to you. We are not running away, please. We're not running away. Neither am I running away, neither are you running away. We have not committed any crime. So we don't need to run away. We don't need to be like the Khadim. So please, I want to come back to Mr. Kamru Chaudhary. Mr. Chaudhary,
My God, you are
has the
associating me
now
with
again,
everybody
Mr. Ali,
because I
now
have
again,
been-
Mr. Ali, you're
No,
going to
this
go on
is
and
not
on.
fair. This is not fair.
No, what I'm
are
asking
equating
Mr.
me-
Chaudhary, can I
you are
not ask
equating
Mr.
me with
Chaudhary a
someone.
question?
You are equating me with someone. Is this a responsibility of yours to say like that? If I'm pinpointing that the government in Uttar Pradesh is of BJP, so you are pinpointing, you are equating me
Sir,
with
this
Khadim
case
and all?
was prosecuted under a Congress government. Please at least know
In
the
Uttar
facts.
Pradesh, the government is of Bharatiya Janata Party, and the person to whom you have referred to,
Mr.
the person you have,
Mr. Shahid
the
Ali.
person to whom you have referred to, that he got the ticket. Why
Mr.
he
Shahid Ali.
why he was not prosecuted in Uttar Pradesh?
Do you not
Was
know
the
that he
government
was
of Bharatiya Janata
prosecuted?
Party?
Do you not know
So
that
you
he
have
was
been leveling
prosecuted? Do you not
allegation
know
against
that there was an
Congress, that is
FIR
fine.
filed against him? Please,
Sir, you can
one
level
second, one second,
allegation
one
against
second.
Congress,
Shahid
that is
Ali,
Rahul,
one
it's my
second.
turn. Let
Now
me
look
finish
at
my
this,
point
yeah.
of view. Then you can go
Why
to
is
him.
he getting excited? Why are you shouting so much?
Mr.
Calm down, I'll
Mr.
come to
Ali,
you.
Mr. Ali, let us all have a informed debate in this panel. Let us all have our points of view. Yeah, Rahul, the point that I was making, if you permit me, for the next 30 seconds, please. If Sartan se juda is a hate speech, nobody in this panel will accept it as a saying this. Then we also need to condemn the Goli Maro slogans of Anurag Thakur, who is a minister.
Sir, let us
Kapil
not
Mishra,
draw an equivalence here. Of course, we
Nobody
condemn
is
all those
drawing
slogans.
equivalence.
You know, you have been on
Bharat mein
debates with
rehna
me
hoga.
where I have
No,
condemned all these
Rahul,
slogans. My
Rahul,
point is,
I was on
tonight
the
I'm
same
asking
debate
you.
where Nupur Sharma was.
No, Mr.
You
Chaudhary.
know that.
Mr.
And how
Chaudhary.
I was,
Mr. Chaudhary.
I was under IB protection for 2 months because I received live threats.
Mr.
Because
Chaudhary.
being on the same debate as Nupur
Mr.
Sharma,
Chaudhary.
you know that.
Mr.
Because
Chaudhary.
it was your erstwhile company.
Mr. Chaudhary.
Now
we
you
all,
say the
we,
Sartan se juda
no, hang on,
is a
Mr.
hate
Chaudhary.
speech.
Mr. Chaudhary.
Goli Maro is also hate
Mr.
speech.
Chaudhary.
Bharat mein rehna hoga to Jai Shri Ram bolna hoga.
But two wrongs
That is
don't
also
make a
hate
right,
speech.
do they? You made a huge hue and cry about the Goli Maro slogan, right? You did you not?
47 people
Did you
have
not?
they received
Did you not?
justice.
Why then
because
did
of
the
that?
administration in Rajasthan, which was at that time a Congress administration, not apply itself in totality, as you yourself are pointing out,
Why not?
to prosecute
Salman
this matter?
Chishti,
Why?
Wait, let me differentiate
And who is
two
going to-
cases out
no, no,
here.
who is going to
let
answer
me
for
differentiate
this?
two cases. One is of Salman Chishti and other is the Gohar Chishti. We are discussing the Gohar Chishti out here. Salman Chishti, who called directly for beheading the one person, Nupur Sharma, must be hanged according to the Indian constitution because that is not allowed. But Gohar Chishti made a hate speech. He is behind bars for the last 2 years.
Oh.
And you have got Anurag Thakur, Kapil Mishra, who gave Goli Maro slogans and 47 people killed because
Okay.
of that.
Okay, one second.
You have
Mr.
got slogans
Chaudhary,
coming in with
Mr.
the hate
Chaudhary,
speech.
Mr. Chaudhary,
You
Mr.
need
Chaudhary,
to draw an
Mr.
equivalence in all
Chaudhary,
these things.
Mr.
Let us
Chaudhary,
suggest from your panel
Mr.
that let
Chaudhary,
us
when
bring
there
a
is
law.
when there was, no, hang on, just a minute. Now, let me come in here. Since you guys have such a strong opinion on these matters, and I also have a very strong opinion, I think all of these cases should be tried with one basic equal standing. There's no doubt about that. I have no doubts about that. But my fundamental point tonight, viewers, is this: that you have seen in the recent past instance of hate speech made by, let's say, people from the BJP, or cases where there have been massive outrages connected to those political parties that are in power at the center, like the BJP or its allies. And the Congress and the other opposition parties have moved court, have gone up in appeal several times. We saw what happened in the Rajasthan, in the Gujarat government, Bilkis Bano matter. A case that even viewers, I came out and criticized because I felt it was completely out of place. And in that particular case, viewers, a large number of civil society activists moved court, saying that the Bilkis Bano had been actually let down, betrayed.
Not only that,
No, one minute now, Kamru Chaudhary, please, let me just finish, please. No, you can't keep raising, you can't keep shooting and scooting. Now listen to me, Mr. Chaudhary, please. Let's be patient with each other. Come on, let's be patient. So, viewers, in those matters, you had several of these opposition types lining up in the Supreme Court, going there, asking for justice, demanding justice. Today, viewers, there is a probability. I'm not saying it's a fact. There's a probability that an individual who made an insightful remark could have excited passions to the point where certain people took upon themselves the right to take action against somebody who they disagreed with. Should a case of that magnitude not have been treated, and let me bring in RSS ideologue Mr. Ratan Sharda into this conversation, should that not have been taken more seriously? Should this case not have been perhaps handed over to either an independent probe panel, or now, when there has been an acquittal under suspicious circumstances, should there not be a collective call for a retrial, reprobe, call it what you want to, Mr. Sharda? And if there isn't, why is there not?
Rahul, I am very sure that there will be reprobe, there will be appeal against this particular judgment. First of all, I am not an ideologue. Please take that designation from me. I am not an ideologue. Now, coming to the main issue. See, people here like Ishkaran, they are talking about law, they are talking about various articles. As a common man, my first question is, when this person instigates two communities, why Section 153 was not charged against these people? Why it was not taken up as creating hate between two communities? Now, before I go further, Kamru has been shouting a lot about the goli maro salo ko. What is the full slogan? Desh ke gaddaron ko goli maro salo ko. Was anybody present here? Desh ka gaddar called Desh ka gaddar? No. So tomorrow if somebody says terroristons ko goli maro salo ko, will anybody hurt? No. So why are they getting hurt? He said 47 people killed. Who instigated the riots? It's all in the courts. Who instigated the riots? The AAP leaders, the Muslim leaders, they created riot. It is very well known, recorded in the High Court. So don't keep on repeating false issues. To my mind, after this particular instigation by this Khadims, 6 people suffered violent attacks. Kanhaiya Lal, Umesh Kolhe, Munish Bhardwaj, Ankit Jha, Shanu Prasad and Nishank Rathod. 2 were beheaded, we know that. Nishank Rathod, his body was found on the railway track with a warning sent to the father that it said, Nabi ke something, I forgot the slogan, I won't want to repeat it, something about Jo Nabi ki insult karega, blah blah SJTS. So there was no action. So you think that somebody instigates this kind of violence doesn't need more serious research? And for when the court shouted Nupur Sharma saying that she made a hate speech, they don't find this hate speech. Court says 5 minutes, 10 minutes, why the full speech was not there? Do you expect a private citizen in a hostile environment to record full speech? Where was the police? Why police didn't have their facts at place? And they say whether he gave 1 slogan or 10 slogans, Sartan se Juda, how does it matter? Whether you raise the slogan once or raise it 10 times, is it heinous to make these slogans? And it is said this person met the killers of Kanhaiya Lal. Why this angle was not investigated? So my point is that Nupur has no right to life. Nupur has no freedom of expression. She has no even to read a book. But other people will use that to instigate people to murder people. And we will quietly keep on quoting laws and various angles. We have no pain that somebody has lost life to live life just by quoting something. And that particular quotation is from authorized books. And on the top of that, this call for hate speech, court tries to split hair about whether 5 minutes or 10 minutes, 1 slogan or 10 slogan. Police is to be brought to court, and this particular case has to be reinvestigated. But why this case was not dragged further? There is a gentleman from AIMM who said in Aurangabad, Nupur Sharma should be hanged from the electric pole, nearest electric pole. Was action taken against him? He fought the election also. So why are we sleeping on such people who create hate, who actually threaten,
you are talking about the MIM leader.
Hate?
You are talking about the MIM leader. I remember.
Yes, he is roaming free. So
well,
only
that's the
Nupur
problem,
Sharma
viewers.
for quoting a particular
And
book
Shahid Ali,
will suffer all life.
You need to
She will
answer.
suffer all the life.
Should there be a
and we'll
free
keep on-
speech? No. Should there be a free run for this kind of hate speech, sir? Should not anyone be asking any questions? Should not you be protesting this order? Why aren't you standing up?
Sir, till date, I think the prosecution has not been started against Nupur Sharma, against the people who have raised Golimaru Saluke and other hateful speeches were and have been made. Prosecution still has not been started, and even the FIR in some cases has not been registered. The judge who ordered for registration of FIR was shifted from Delhi to somewhere else. Now he has been retired. So these all are facts. And now, if you people or if anybody else is not happy with the decision of the Honorable Court, they will file an appeal. That is always the right of the prosecution or the state. Now, presently, the government is a Bharatiya Janata Party in Rajasthan. They should file an appeal. They should do everything to bring home, to get the justice imparted. Undoubtedly. So we are not in favor of making hate speech by anyone, whether Muslims or Hindu, because we are in favor of keeping the India united, keeping the people united.
Okay.
We are in favor of
the order has just been posted, viewers.
Not of hate.
Just one point. Just
Okay.
5 seconds.
Yes, and I want to bring in Ishkan Bhandari right
suppose-
after. Yes. Yes.
Now suppose FIR is filed and Nupur Sharma is acquitted because it is freedom of speech and because she quoted from authorized book. Will she be allowed to live, and will these people stand by her to her life, for your right to life? Today they are not standing by her. Will tomorrow, when she is acquitted, will they stand by her? So don't make the excuse of her not being filed. If it is filed, I am very sure she will get away rightly from the law as per what she said. But no, they will not do that, because again, you have Salman Rushdie suffering for years together. So these people don't believe in constitution. For them, constitution is suitable when it suits them. When it doesn't suit them, they will quote Sharia, they will quote all these things.
Okay, one second. Ishkan Bhandari, how do you respond to Shahid Ali and Mr.
Rahul,
Chaudhary, who say that there's a intrinsic double standard here? In fact, they've turned the argument on its head.
Rahul, they have not turned the argument on its head because we are living in facts. We are not living in 2V studios. What are the facts? Facts are Sar Tan Se Juda is not merely a slogan of hate speech. I believe it's a terrorist call because Ratanji counted out 5 or 6 names of people who faced violent attacks, including 2 who were killed and butchered. So please do not say it is just a political slogan or it is a slogan of a hate speech. It is a slogan where you are targeting people, where you are terrorizing people, where you want to kill people. Salman Rushdie, there is an example living in a Western country after so many years also, a person comes out and stabs him and tries to kill him. And how many people have read his book?
Rahul,
I would want to know. Out of that, not even one person would have read his book of the people who are threatening to kill Salman Rushdie. That's a global example. Even in the Indian context, as Ratanji has rightly said, I will carry the point forward. Tomorrow the trial is going on. It's a pending case. Whatever the courts decide, if Nupur Sharma gets acquitted, can she still move without security?
No.
So please do not allow
Highly
this false
unlikely.
equivalence. It is not turning a debate on it's not impossible. I won't mince words. It's impossible in my view. People can dispute that. But the reality is, let us not allow false equivalence.
And I just want,
there
yes,
is a
on that point of
targeting
false equivalence,
people and not.
Ishkan Bhandari, let's be very clear. Nupur
And
Sharma,
not from now, when the law came in.
Nupur Sharma didn't threaten violence against anybody. She might have made a comment that has been found objectionable by certain members of another community, and it is before the Supreme Court, this entire case, and it is going to be at some level or the other decided upon. But remember, viewers, that a person who is today tipped, and we're going to be breaking that story a little later, who could become the Deputy Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu, for instance, sign of the DMK. He, in fact, the Supreme Court pulled him up for making a hate speech against Hindus, for suggesting that Sanatana Dharma should be completely eradicated because it is a virus, like HIV and other viruses. And the adherents, therefore, viewers, would be seen as germs. That is the normalization, viewers, the normalization of hate and violence. And the problem is that if individuals like this get off so lightly, viewers, it also encourages others to follow suit. I'll take a very short break. We'll be right back, viewers, in 3 minutes. Big story coming up. Don't go away. And also big breaking news.
event in the afternoon in Las Vegas, but then began suffering from a cold and a runny nose. He was expected to attend a second event in the evening in Vegas, a huge crowd, an audience waiting patiently for him. Half an hour, no Biden. 1 hour, no Biden. And then an hour and a half later, the audience heard the announcement Biden would not be coming. He was tested positive for COVID. Arrangements were quickly made to take Biden back home to the East Coast from Las Vegas, which is a 4.5-hour flight. As Biden's car arrived at Air Force One to fly him back, he gave reporters a thumbs up. Journalists asking him how he was feeling, he said, "Good, I feel good." Now, this is a huge setback for Biden amid an avalanche of bad news as he fights to keep his place as leader of the party. A positive COVID test could mean Biden could be out of commission on the campaign trail for maybe a week, even more. The COVID diagnosis comes on day the political crisis for Biden deepened when one of the most high-profile Democrats, Adam Schiff, called for him to step aside. Now, if that wasn't enough, a new poll says 65% or 2/3 of Democrats think Biden should withdraw and allow someone else to take his place in the 2024 race to the White House. The survey also says 70% of Americans feel that they are not confident that Biden had the mental capacity to be president. The survey was conducted by the Associated Press and a research organization at the University of Chicago. In an interview that released today, Biden told BET News he would only think about dropping out of the race if a doctor told him he has a medical problem. For CNN News 18, I'm Alistair D'Souza in Washington, D.C.
Thank you all so much for your patience and understanding. Regrettably, I was just on the phone with President Biden, and he shared his deep disappointment at not being able to join us this afternoon. The President has been at many events, as we all know, and he just tested positive for COVID. So, of course, we understand that he needs to take the precautions that have been recommended, and he did not obviously want to put anybody at risk. He said to tell my folks that we're not going to get rid of him that quickly. We're going to have a chance to hear from him.
Viewers, Uttar Pradesh is the crucible of Indian politics. It is also the gateway to power in Delhi. This was proven true once again when the BJP slipped in Uttar Pradesh in the recently concluded Lok Sabha elections and because of that lost its majority in parliament. The shock setback has brought to the fore cracks in the UP BJP, at least that's what a large number of people seem to be suggesting, and some BJP leaders have also come out and expressed their reservations. It is being said that some are asking uncomfortable questions of BJP top brass about their continued support for UP Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath. The questions have acquired an urgency because the BJP is faced with yet another round of bypolls. And viewers, the BJP top brass is leaving no stone unturned in holding internal consultations to get a sense of really what caused this defeat. Today, of course, you have the Prime Minister Narendra Modi at the BJP headquarters. He's accompanied by Party President Mr. J.P. Nadda, and he's going to be speaking to a large number of workers at the BJP headquarters, interacting with them, getting some feedback from the ground at a time when there is talk that there are a few rifts, especially in crucial states, between the party, between the party's workers, their top bosses, and of course a disconnect with the public at large. Now all of this needs to be fixed very quickly for the BJP to reassert itself as the party of dominance in the country. The opportunities, viewers, are there. There's going to be a set of bypolls, very critical bypolls. Remember, there were some bypolls just a few days ago, and that bypoll or the set of bypolls did not go very well for the BJP, and you saw the outburst. BJP cannot constantly be seen to be on the defensive on its electoral performance. And those are the seats, viewers, assembly seats that are going to see bypolls. Katehari, Karhal, Milkipur, Sisamau, Kundarki. Some of them have been held by the NDA also, at least 5 of them. Ghaziabad, Khair, Phulpur, Majhavan and Mirapur. And on the other side, of course, the Samajwadi Party holds 5. So very evenly split. Yogi Adityanath really needs to, at this moment, and that's his priority, to get the party back on the rails so that it can return to its winning ways, especially in Uttar Pradesh, being the crucial state that it is. A post-mortem has highlighted a number of factors that cost the BJP in the Lok Sabha elections in Uttar Pradesh. A total decline of 8% votes across all 6 divisions. Kurmi and Maurya caste moved away from the BJP. BJP clinched only 1/3 of the Dalit votes. 10% BSP vote share dip aided the India bloc because that BSP vote went lock, stock and barrel really to the India bloc. Overreach of bureaucracy and police on many issues, which is another way of suggesting that bulldozer use has upset individuals. There was no effective mechanism to address worker complaints. Tickets announced early, campaign burnout by the end of the polls. Ill-timed statement on changes to the constitution if BJP crossed 400. And this, of course, viewers, you have to attribute to a tranche of fake news. Anger over paper leaks and inability to deliver contractual jobs. Names of 30,000 to 40,000 BJP supporters were missing from voters' list. Yogi, the guru of comebacks now, will try and turn things around. Already, of course, the opposition has written him off. Some within, as I said, his own party are asking questions. But don't write off Yogi Adityanath. It would be a mistake. In 2018, the BJP lost all bypolls in Uttar Pradesh but swept the 2019 Lok Sabha elections. In 2021, the BJP lost the UP civic polls by a big margin, but Yogi scripted a history in 2022 with an unprecedented second term. Let's open this up. Let's ask some specific questions. And the fundamental question goes to Charu Pragya of the Bharatiya Janata Party and Abbas Haider of the Samajwadi Party, as they are the principal stakeholders right now in the state. So, Mr. Haider, I found it rather strange that there is, on the back of talk that Mr. Yogi Adityanath might have to face up to some criticism from inside the ranks of the party, so much glee in Samajwadi Party circles. Do you believe that Yogi Adityanath is done for? Is that the reason?
Rahul Bhai, there are multiple fractions within the Bharatiya Janata Party. We have seen there are like 6 chief ministers who are running the state right now in Uttar Pradesh. There is somebody who is having patronage from the top leadership. Somebody who is called organizational secretary has got patronage from some other leader of the party. There are multiple chief ministers in Uttar Pradesh. They used to call, when Samajwadi Party was in power before 2017, that there are 5 chief ministers in Uttar Pradesh. Today there are 6 chief ministers in Uttar Pradesh. And when Mr. Maurya says that organization is bigger than the government, what does he mean? Which government he is talking about? So whatever is happening within the Bharatiya Janata Party, the statements are coming from the leaders of the Bharatiya Janata Party. More than a dozen leaders have spoken about it. They have said how organization and party leaders have been, disrespected. They have been humiliated time and again. And this is not just with the party leader. This is happening with all the citizens of Uttar Pradesh. which apparently a similar situation is faced by the BJP leaders as well. So there is resentment among the leader of the Bharatiya Janata Party. I would say कि
No, but
ये
it's
जो
so
स्थिति
convenient for
है,
you to look, you know, not within, but
ये
outside.
तूफान
I
से
can
पहले की
understand that there's a
खामोशी
degree
है.
of opportunism. I mean, look at the infighting that is going on within your own India alliance, by the way, sir, between the Congress and the AAP, etc., etc. Is that also, would you say, a result of both Mr. Kejriwal and Rahul Gandhi losing their grip over their respective parties? That's why you're seeing such indiscipline? Or between TMC that said that, oh, look at the Congress, it is trying to sort of usurp the fact that it has done so well, that the India alliance has done so well in West Bengal, when actually it's only the TMC because all the Congress, whether it's the Congress or the left, all our partners are fighting against us. Are you going to say that this is a signal that Rahul Gandhi and Mamata Banerjee, or at least Rahul Gandhi has lost, complete faith, or Mamata Banerjee has lost complete faith in Rahul Gandhi? I mean, come on. There's a level to which you can make an argument. I understand you can have great sort of joy from the fact that the BJP right now is not looking like the fighting machine that it used to. But I think you might be stretching the analogy a bit too far. One second. Let me also bring in Aman Sharma. We also have an AS, by the way, who is the guru of politics in CNN News 18. We also have our own Chanakya. So I want to ask you, you've been covering this very closely, AS, Aman Sharma. Is this talk of Mr. Yogi Adityanath being consigned to the dustbin, that his days are over, that he's become a shadow, a pale shadow of himself, is this talk founded in any sort of fact?
I don't think so. It's grossly exaggerated. See, Rahul, I want to make a simple point that the BJP under Mr. Yogi is still at 41% vote share in UP. This party, which started in 2014, we can say 42% when the first big win happened in 2022, when Mr. Yogi Adityanath created history by being the only second chief minister in decades to return to power. Even now, after this setback in UP, the BJP still continues to be at 41% vote share, almost an 8% gap from the Samajwadi Party. Yes, there has been a setback in the number of seats, and there are various reasons for it. There is a reason which is being spoken about, a Muslim vote consolidation for the alliance. There is also this reason about BSP's voter, instead of moving to the BJP, has moved to the opposition alliance in a big way. Caste politics is back in UP in a big way. BJP will have to recalibrate it, because BJP's USP so far had been to get votes across castes through the crime control of crime, this model that Mr. Yogi had brought in. I think Mr. Yogi still continues to be extremely popular in Uttar Pradesh. His governance style still has a lot of resonance. What the BJP needs is a reset in its team. As I say, the captain is fine, but the team needs a rejig, both at the organizational level as well as the cabinet level. We will see this. BJP, obviously, there has been a detailed study. BJP is extremely worried over what happened in UP. It has gone very deeply into it. In the coming next few days, few weeks, a few months, maybe after the bypoll results, we could see a reset, more Dalit voices getting into the organization, as well as in the, one of the deputy CMs maybe could be replaced with a Dalit face. That's what I'm hearing. And BJP needs that reset. I think that is what is required. I think there is nothing which BJP does not have a bigger leader than Yogi Adityanath in UP right now.
Okay, it's important points that are being made by Aman Sharma. Let me bring in Charu Pragya also of the Bharatiya Janata Party and Tehseen Poonawala into this. Charu Pragya, would you say that the BJP stands at an inflection point in Uttar Pradesh right now? Yes, it has done fantastically well, and one can't dismiss the fact that in 3 elections in the Lok Sabha, it has, emerged as the single largest party. And of course, in Uttar Pradesh that is, and also won 2 back-to-back assembly elections, which obviously was unprecedented over the last 30-40 years. But Charu Pragya, having said that, momentum is very important. Perception is also extremely important in politics. Would you say that this round of assembly elections, there's 10 of them, these by-elections, is a make or break one for Yogi Adityanath? And if he doesn't pull it off, let's say all 10 seats go, would then serious questions have to be asked of him? Because you ask those of the opposition routinely when their leaders fail to deliver.
Rahul, good evening. Let's understand one thing. Bharatiya Janata Party is a party which goes in for every single election local, national, by-election or otherwise with utmost seriousness and complete preparation. We leave nothing to chance, and we are very proud of the kind of hard work we are capable of putting in wherever that election might be held. And it's not going to be different for the bypolls in Uttar Pradesh. These 10 seats are very important for us. Yes, currently 5 of them are being held by the Samajwadi Party, but in the days to come, we hope to change that as well. The reason for Bharatiya Janata Party not getting very high seats in the general elections were many. There was a lot of rumor mongering. People are still expecting to get 1 lakh rupees per annum in their account. That 8,500 is being discussed. The caste dynamics were in fact, they were blown out of proportion to such an extent that it causes discontent in society. But that doesn't change the fact that Yogi Ji is a very loved leader. Yogi Ji is a leader who's changed the way Uttar Pradesh is perceived nationwide, in fact, even internationally. Yogi Ji is the person who broke a lot of jinxes. He became a chief minister for the second time. He became a chief minister even after he visited Noida, so on and so forth. And the situation today in UP is such that citizens swear by his name. That is not going to change. Again, understanding his very strong position within the organization, within the government, and in the hearts of the electorate, Samajwadi Party and their allies have started rumor mongering again. Now they are saying, oh, Yogi Ji could go, something could change. That is not happening. That is absolutely not happening, and they would do well to focus on their own issues, which they have refrained from doing so, because by-election results have come last week also. If we analyze those, can I just get 30 seconds to point that out? So in those elections, when the opposition continues to say that we won this by-election, let's correct them. They have contested this against each other. They have contested it, Aam Aadmi Party against Congress, TMC against Congress. There is no united win. And looking at that, Bharatiya Janata Party has retained its seats, in fact maintained status quo.
Okay, so let me flip this question around and bring in Tehseen Poonawalla. Tehseen Poonawalla, you have claimed that the public is deserting the BJP. By that yardstick, these 10 by-elections that are coming up in Uttar Pradesh are more of a test for you and the opposition rather than for the BJP. The BJP is already on the downslide. Can you pick up?
I think so, Rahul, and I agree with you.
I'm asking you, is it a great... Of course, you will think so. Obviously, you're there to think that. But I'm asking you, would it be a greater test for you? And would then questions have to be asked of both Akhilesh Yadav and Rahul Gandhi and Priyanka Gandhi Vadra, etc.?
Except that we are winning the by-elections. India Alliance is sweeping it. I think the score will be 7-3, if not 8-2, but 7-3 is what we're looking at. So I think that this by-elections will set a lot of things in motion in Uttar Pradesh. There is a problem in the BJP in Uttar Pradesh. The fact that Yogi Adityanath had to roll back the biometrics implementation for teachers' attendance speaks a lot. Let your viewers hear that. Biometrics attendance that ensures teachers attend to teach our students has been rolled back. The so-called international bulldozer model has been rolled back, which clearly shows the BJP is on a back foot, the BJP is rattled. Now AS is here. AS covers national affairs brilliantly. He's perhaps the best in the country, like you, Rahul. When has Yogi Adityanath backtracked? He's now backtracking, and that is showing that.
Let me tell you.
But let me finish, please. Please allow me to finish. Look, what happened in BJP in 2017, and it's a very famous statement, was Keshav Prasad Maurya ji led the BJP victory. Adityanath ji became chief minister. I agree, he's the most popular leader even now in Uttar Pradesh for the BJP. But make no mistake, I can promise you, not only is India Alliance winning these 10 by-elections, 7-3 or 8-2, but Akhilesh Yadav ji will very well, or somebody from SP will be taking oath as Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh come 2027.
Okay. Viewers, of course, we'll have to wait for those by-elections. Yes, Charu Pragya, I want to quickly make a point because I have to take some breaking news. We are getting news about India's T20 composition and a new captain. Big surprises there. But yes, Charu Pragya.
Yeah. So, Tehseen always has extremely high hopes from the non-alliance of the opposition. But in this particular case, it's important to note that one of the seats going in for by-election has happened because the MLA has been sentenced to imprisonment for 7 long years. He has been removed from his seat for very valid reasons. No, I'm coming to that. The position of the Samajwadi Party in every single constituency in Uttar Pradesh, and still let's remember, Congress doesn't have much of a stake. Last elections, your vote share was 2.5%, which is the worst that Congress has ever performed, along with Samajwadi Party. But moving on from there, even this time it's going to be the same because Samajwadi Party has not been able to deliver on huge thing. So security,
Okay.
law and order.
In the
7-3.
crucible of Indian politics.
7-3.
Okay, in the crucible of
7-3.
Indian politics, viewers, a by-election across 10 seats, across 10 regions, the whole spread of the state is a critical one, let me tell you, because it is going to set the tone for elections that are going to come in the next 6-7 months in Maharashtra, in Delhi, in Haryana. Momentum is very crucial, viewers, and no one can come out on the wrong side of that momentum right now. I have some more breaking news coming in. We are being told that there's been a surprise pick, viewers, surprise pick, a big one. This is a big decision that is being taken. We are being told that mega churn is likely to happen in Tamil Nadu politics. DMK sources say Udhanidhi Stalin's elevation to the Deputy Chief Minister's post is likely in August. Udhanidhi Stalin is likely to be made the Deputy Chief Minister in the first week of August ahead of MK Stalin's US visit. Let me go across to Purnima Murali for more on this. Purnima, what can you tell us? What is actually driving this, number one? And will this be seen as a deserved elevation?
Well, Chief Minister M.K. Stalin is leaving for the United States on the 22nd. Therefore, Udhanidhi's elevation is likely to happen before that. They are looking at the possibility of elevating him in the first week of August, before Independence Day. And the reason being, they say that Udhanidhi was a star campaigner for the party in 2024 elections, and therefore ahead of the 2026 State Assembly polls, this elevation will boost the morale of the DMK cadre, is the word coming in from senior leaders. And they also say that in the absence of Chief Minister, while he is traveling to the US, they also want a smooth governance, and therefore Udhanidhi, many say, would be the right candidate for that. And this also comes at a time when the DMK is under fire for a lot of issues, including the Kallakurichi Hooch tragedy, lawlessness in the state, where a series of murders took place over the last 3 weeks. So this comes at a time when the party is facing flack for various issues, including the electricity hike. So we'll have to wait and see how opposition parties will react to the elevation. But at the moment, the sun is likely to rise in Tamil Nadu.
Well, very interesting. Viewers, transition, perhaps, call it what you want to, but an exposure at this moment of Udhanidhi Stalin's career, because he was in the news a few months ago for making colored remarks, really, against Sanatani Hindus and Sanatani Hindus in a very, 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 very unfortunate manner. Aman, very unfortunate. What do you make of this transition?
Well, I think it gives only more opposition fodder to the BJP to, attack the Parivarwadi politics of the India alliance, and obviously this will give, we could see BJP leaders now saying that, this is the model that Akhilesh Yadav takes over from Mulayam Singh Yadav in Bihar.
I suppose in the context of Udhanidhi Stalin, because of that remark, he'll also serve as a lightning rod for those that are trying to sort of impose, or not impose, but, sort of spawn a Hindutva politics or Hindutva-centric politics in Tamil Nadu.
Absolutely. And, somebody who has made those comments on Sanatan Dharma, it gives a chance for the BJP to now say that they are actually being rewarded, as a deputy CM. In fact, and we saw the Prime Minister even during the Lok Sabha campaign, in fact, take on very strongly on this particular comment, not take Udhanidhi's name, but in fact refer to him repeatedly. So I think it only gives more fodder, Rahul, and we could see BJP's voices rising now and saying that this is the opposition alliance is essentially for a Parivarwad-run, family-run dynasty politics, not actually for the good governance and for the benefit of people.
Well, interesting times, viewers, in the context of Tamil Nadu politics, again at a crossroads, some would suggest. Other breaking news as we just exit this particular show and move on to the right stand with Anand Narasimhan. Big changes also in the Indian cricket team. The T20 squad captain has been announced, and it's Surya Kumar Yadav. Bit of a surprise there, because many people thought that the all-rounder in the team who did very well in the T20 World Cup, Hardik Pandya, would actually make the captain of the T20 squad. So big surprise there, viewers. Gautam Gambhir and of course Sky have worked together. Is that the new equation that is developing? We don't know. I'll leave it at this, viewers. Lots more coming up. Don't go away.
sure, directly. He's just really sorry he couldn't be with us. And obviously, we share that disappointment, but we've seen how COVID has still impacted many in our community still, and we understand that he needs to take the steps he needs to take to not just protect himself, but to protect all of us.
US President Joe Biden has tested positive for COVID. His symptoms are said to be mild. 81-year-old Biden has been given a dose of Paxlovid, which is used to treat COVID. For the next few days, he will self-isolate at his home in Delaware. The White House says the US president is vaccinated and has taken his boosters. He has tested positive for COVID twice before. Let's run you through how the news broke. Biden attended a campaign event in the afternoon in Las Vegas, but then began suffering from a cold and a runny nose. He was expected to attend a second event in the evening in Vegas. A huge crowd, an audience waiting patiently for him. Half an hour, no Biden. 1 hour, no Biden. And then an hour and a half later, the audience heard the announcement Biden would not be coming. He was tested positive for COVID. Arrangements were quickly made to take Biden back home to the East Coast from Las Vegas, which is a 4.5-hour flight. As Biden's car arrived at Air Force One to fly him back, he gave reporters a thumbs up. Journalists asking him how he was feeling, he said, "Good. I feel good." Now, this is a huge setback for Biden amid an avalanche of bad news as he fights to keep his place as leader of the party. A positive COVID test could mean Biden could be out of commission on the campaign trail for maybe a week, even more. The COVID diagnosis comes on day the political crisis for Biden deepened when one of the most high-profile Democrats, Adam Schiff, called for him to step aside. Now, if that wasn't enough, a new poll says 65% or 2/3 of Democrats think Biden should withdraw and allow someone else to take his place in the 2024 race to the White House. The survey also says 70% of Americans feel that they are not confident that Biden had the mental capacity to be president. The survey was conducted by the Associated Press and a research organization at the University of Chicago. In an interview that released today, Biden told BET News he would only think about dropping out of the race if
This is CNN News 18 and Federal Bank Primetime Studio.
Namaste, Jai Hind, and welcome to this edition of The Right Stand. I'm Anand Narsimhan, and we are coming to you live from the CNN News 18 and Federal Bank Prime Time studio. First up, ladies and gentlemen, the Asian Development Bank, or ADB, has retained Bharat's gross domestic product or GDP growth forecast for financial year 25 at 7% as projected in its April outlook. Robust growth in industry